Right, thank you for clicking on this video, and today, as the title suggests, I will be talking about eggs, how they are made, what's in them, and how this provides benefits to you for eating them. So, without further ado, let's dive right in. But before we dive right in, I would just like to say that if this content does sound interesting to you, then please make sure to like and subscribe on this video, and check out all of the other content to do with biology that is on my channel. So yeah, without further ado, let's dive right in. So, eggs. I'm mainly going to be talking about chicken eggs in this video. I think most other bird eggs will follow a similar process, but chicken eggs are the only eggs that I eat. I eat 14 eggs a week. I like them mainly fried, but I also like them poached. But yeah, this is mainly talking about the process as well as the benefits from eating them. So let's dive right in. This here, you've got the ovary, and then you've got the magnum, the infundibulum. I did pronounce that wrong. That's so embarrassing. I did pronounce that wrong, but yeah, it's something. It sounds similar to that. Isthmus, and the uterus, as well as a bunch of other things. But I'm only talking about them because they're the main parts that I need to focus on, and it will become clear what all of those parts mean in a second. So let's have a look. So the journey starts in the ovary. If you do know about the female reproductive process, you probably will be able to draw some parallels at the early stages, but it kind of tapers off in terms of relevancy because we are mammals and they are birds. So yeah, shocker, the process is going to be different, but you will notice some parallels at the very beginning if you study biology. So ovulation. I'll include timings here because that's just crazy that they can do like one egg per day. That's just insane. But yeah, so ovulation normally takes between 15 and 30 minutes. So the ovary contains the ova, that's plural, and then the ovum. When the ovum matures, it's released into the infundibulum, which is this little bit here, and then that is controlled via hormonal signals. So it travels through the infundibulum until it reaches this area here called the magnum, and that's where the albumen is formed, which is most commonly referred to as the egg white. That's the white part of the egg. So it moves into the magnum, where the white forms around it, which is rich in proteins and nutrients that are essential for the developing embryo, and also essential for us. I did skip the fertilization step because you're not going to buy an egg that's been fertilized unless you go to like Waitrose or something stupid like that. That's a shop in England for rich people. But yeah, you're not going to buy a fertilized egg. Fertilization is not a necessary step for the actual production, despite in humans where the egg will just get destroyed if it's not fertilized. The egg does not need to be fertilized. It will just come out anyway. But yeah. So that's rich in proteins, and I'll talk about the benefits of that later, so stick around. So it goes through the magnum and then it goes to the isthmus, where the egg membrane starts to form. So the inner and outer shell membrane develop, which I'm pretty sure is like it's like the slightly softer bit of the shell that's like kind of like a bit of a film around it, if you get what I mean, if you've ever cooked eggs or anything like that. And then it travels down through there into the uterus, where the shell actually develops. This thing takes about 3 hours. No, I think it takes a while. I think it's probably the longest step. So there's a hard calcium carbonate shell which forms, and this also means that the chicken will be depleted of calcium afterwards, which means that it may be quite weak. So yeah, that's how it develops, and then obviously there's the bloom application, which is like this gel kind of thing, and then this is obviously removed during the actual like cleaning process of the egg for most companies that own farms that make the eggs, but it's still interesting to know because it protects the egg from diseases and stuff like that. And then it is actually laid by the chicken, which is probably the most important bit, unless you just want to have a bunch of eggs sitting inside of a chicken. But yeah, so it's laid, and then I'm not going to get into the process of actually cleaning them and making them safe to eat. I will probably do a video about this in the future. Sometimes people are interested in raw eggs and stuff like that. I'm not sure on the science. I'm pretty sure that they do something to make them slightly better in terms of health. But yeah, stuff like the bloom are removed, and it's just made a bit safer to eat, if you get what I mean. I have nothing against people that do eat raw eggs. I don't know, would I do it? This is similar to the raw milk debate that I had in the milk video. Maybe I'll try it in the future. They don't really sell them that often in the UK. I think it might be illegal to sell raw eggs. Don't quote me on that. So, let's get into the actual benefits. Before we get into the actual benefits, I would just like to add a little bit of biology knowledge into this. This is all biology knowledge, but I'm talking about biochemical biology knowledge. The proteins, the white turns white when you cook it, when you fry it, because the proteins in the egg have a specific 3D tertiary structure that is held together by hydrogen bonding as well as a bunch of other bonds. And the secondary structure in an egg is also held together by hydrogen bonds. And these hydrogen bonds are very weak. This is more chemistry, but the hydrogen bonds are very weak. And this means that they are easily broken, and when they are broken, it denatures the specific 3D tertiary structure of the white, which causes it to turn white and therefore harden and all that stuff, which is probably the only reason why eggs are actually edible. So you can thank the denature of proteins due to the breakdown of hydrogen bonds for the fact that you've ever eaten an egg, or at least you've ever eaten an egg in that's been white. I'm not talking about in cakes here, even though something similar probably happens there. But yeah, eggs are in everything. I obviously did talk at the beginning about eating them poached and fried, but they're obviously in cakes, they're in mayonnaise, they're in sauces, they're in anything that you like, batter, anything like that. Anything that you like probably has an egg in it. I used to be a big egg hater. I used to hate eggs. But now, as I said, I eat 14 of them per week. That's quite a lot. But some days I'll have 3, some days I'll have 4, I love a good egg. And obviously, in excess, they can cause high cholesterol. Watch my video on cholesterol if you want to know more about that. They can cause high cholesterol, they can cause some health problems, but I'd say in general, eggs are good for you. But let's get on to why. So, you've got this thing called choline, which I'm pretty sure is good for the brain health as well as a host of other things. I think it helps babies during pregnancy as well. So it's good for your brain health. And obviously, we've got all the nutrients and proteins. The proteins, watch my video on muscles, but the proteins will help have healthy muscles that are able to grow in the future. And proteins are involved in all important processes in the body. You need proteins to survive, so it's important to get a good protein intake from eggs. So yep. You've also got lutein and zeaxanthin, which are involved in the health of the eyes, which is also very important. So yeah, if you have enjoyed this video, this has been a bit of a slightly shorter one today, but if you have enjoyed this video, then please make sure to like, subscribe, check out all the other videos on my channel, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.